Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. To the Cronos holders, appreciate all the love. Let's get right in today's topic and understand what's happening and what we could be expecting as we are going further into Thursday morning. Looking across the board, we are seeing pretty much since the start of the week, pretty much consecutively green days, which of course is always a nice thing. I'm sure no one's really complaining, and we are seeing some positive momentum for the broader market. Cronos is up about 1.1%. Yes, over the course of the last week, we are seeing a little bit of a lag, and of course we can see that on the weekly time frame down about 3.9%. But a continuous reminder, while you are seeing a lot of these other coins pumping right now, they were not doing so when Cronos was up, and you can see literally on the monthly time frame, and that really kind of sums up everything we need to really know. But let's take a closer look and see what's happening with the price. But before we get into it, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So the price is 25.8 cents right now. We're up 1.1% as mentioned in USD, down about 1% in Bitcoin and Ethereum comparative. Valuation 8.7 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at $126.2 million. As always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. I think I said that twice, but it's important to note that. But anyhow, let's take a look at this. Expert predicts 231% CRO price rally. Cronos has continued to show strong bullish momentum, and according to Javin's analysis, the breakout target now sits at 88.6 cents. This is a significant level, and it marks the projected point of completion for the current upward wave structure. Even after the sharp rally, the target suggests that there is still more room for growth, potentially over 231% from current levels. And I'm going to share my personal thoughts with you guys on that, of course. But if you're looking as we are going into Thursday, the dominance is continuing to pull down, and I'm sure no one's really complaining. Bitcoin, on the other hand, sitting above $114,000. We're yet to retest our confirmation at 115, but so far so good. The trend is your friend, and as of now, Bitcoin is in this upward trajectory. So far, nothing has been invalidated as far as Bitcoin price is concerned, but of course 115 is something we want to keep in mind. But taking a look at Cronos and kind of putting into perspective that 88 cents price point from that analyst, let me kind of give you guys a little bit of a rundown as to what that requires. So that's pretty much a move of about 235% from where we currently are, which pretty much puts us near all-time highs. At that point, I think all-time high would be retested. If we see the price of Cronos get back into the 23.6 fib zone, I'm confident the price will retest all-time highs. Now, let's kind of put it into perspective whether or not this is a realistic thing to be looking out for. We need to understand, is Cronos is more than just a native token for the crypto exchange. There is a full-fledged blockchain that is operating, and Cronos is the native token of that. And on top of that, the biggest deal maker, in my opinion, not breaker, deal maker in this case, is that gives me confidence. And again, I've been quite transparent with you guys. I hold absolutely no Cronos. I've had a lot of Cronos in the past, but I don't hold any no longer. I wish, of course, I caught the wave, but it is what it is. I don't hold any, and I'm bringing you guys unbiased update. But with the Trump media partnership, that is something we don't want to be overlooking, in my opinion. That is huge, and creating a treasury for Cronos. Like, we're not talking about a small treasury. That's a huge chunk. And, this brings in, of course, you guys are going to be like, well, that's done and forgotten about, right? Because, yeah, that's done. They're holding onto the huge chunk of Cronos, and then that company that they are, completely separately making, that's going to go public eventually. So on and so forth. But we need to understand this has brought in a lot of attention to crypto.com and the Cronos token. So again, if we're looking at the previous bull market, we saw a price of 95 cents, just below $1 price point. And at that time, we did not even have anything close to this type of bullish momentum, and we did not even have this type of interest coming from big corporations or even like regulation that was coming towards crypto industry. The entire landscape has shifted from that time to this time. So if that time we saw the price retesting these crazy levels, I don't understand why with these types of partnerships that we're hearing, major partnerships, and if Cronos does become the biggest exchange in America, then of course I think it has a huge key, it has a huge key, sorry, I'm at a loss of words, super late here, guys. It's like a key component. That's what I'm trying to say. It would be a key component for success. Obviously, if it becomes, one of the biggest exchange, which I can argue that it's already becoming one of the biggest exchanges globally, but we're talking about US, and maybe later down the road, what if there is, all those rumors that we were hearing about incentives for US based projects? If that happens, then I think people will realize eventually that, what the potential really is. So I'm not writing off, the all-time highs for Cronos. I think that will happen. Might not happen overnight, might not happen over the next 2-3 months, might not even happen at the end of the year. But I think the trend is pretty clear. But what's really interesting here is the volume. I don't want you guys to overlook that. Very, very huge chunk of volume coming in over the course of the last 2 to 3 weeks, something we haven't even seen in the last cycle, and that tells you everything you need to know. And after breaking out of the 61.8, there's not much resistance. So if the buying pressure is a lot, this thing has some legs for itself. But we also need to understand that stakers, once they're done staking and they're able to obviously sell their coins, that's something that we need to keep in mind. And there is a huge huge chunk of coins that are going to be coming on the market, I think, at the end of the month. That unlock is mostly retail, but I think if the momentum is there, if the demand is there, I think it will be able to own up to it. But we've seen two wicks over the course of the last 2 to 3 days. One was at 28.8 cents, one was just yesterday at almost 28 cents, and we're kind of finding ourselves back down to this 26 cents key range. I think these wicks will get retested, but right now we have a very big decline in the volume, but yet the price is still kind of finding a ground for itself within the 78.6. So so far so good, but the target remains to be the 31.3 cents. But I like the way it has been accumulating in this 78.6, but target the confirmation 31.2 cents. Keep your eyes on that. Obviously, I'll keep you guys covered on a day-to-day basis. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that red subscribe, and thank you for all your support. We'll see you later. I've been Crypto ZX, and peace out.